What's going down? Thor back. Basement Boy Banter is the channel. Wrestling in the Basement, that's the show. Back with Kyle Olson.
Hey.
Thanks for joining me for the post Wrestlemania recap, review, reactions, whatever other R word I can think of. I'm exhausted.
Tired.
I'm
Yeah.
exhausted. We have watched in the last 5 days 78 hours of wrestling. I exaggerate slightly, but it's literally, because my girlfriend has pointed this out to me on multiple occasions, like 30 hours. Like 30 hours wrestling in 5 days.
Well, because did you even watch any of the like peripheral
Oh, no.
stuff?
No.
Yeah, because I watched both nights of Joey Janela's Spring Break.
You're a madman.
And Orange Cassidy is doing something or whatever, because that was actually one of the better shows of the entire weekend, because it knew exactly what it was. Like, it was a stupid comedy show, but it was like really well done comedy. So
what show had Hornswoggle versus Steiner?
that was AIW's Slumber Party Massacre. That one I did not see.
Okay.
But
there was wrestling this weekend you didn't watch?
Yeah. Yeah, well, there was the collective bundle on Fight TV. I got maybe half of those shows, but it was 11 shows.
Wow.
So it's actually, it was 11 shows for like $100.
Okay, I watched 30 hours of wrestling this weekend over 5 days. You watched at least 80 then.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. All right. So, well, hey, if you want to real quick just break down any of the greatest parts of those indie shows that you watched.
One that's a lot of fun to watch, and it's a short match. It was on night 1 of Joey Janela's Spring Break. That was the Invisible Man taking on his brother who tried to kill him, the Invisible Stan. So it's 2 invisible men facing each other, with referee Bryce Remsburg with bad boy vision goggles to be able to see the participants. And it was amazing. They fought all over. One of them threw the other through a balcony, or off the balcony. The finish happened when the one got speared through a table. And yes, the table broke. And interference by Japanese comedy legend Kikutaru. Yeah, it was the weirdest match of the weekend, but it was so much fun.
I wish I watched more indie stuff, but it sounds so weird and so good. It just sounds delightful.
I'll show you a GIF after this.
So all right, perfect. Yeah. So what would be your match of the indies, we'll say?
Match of the indies, actually, it was a lot of fun. Orange Cassidy versus Taka Michinoku was a lot of fun. Orange Cassidy kind of stopped being as much of a slacker as he usually is and just wrestled, because he was wrestling Taka Michinoku. But yeah, that was, of all the indie stuff, that was probably the best one. Special little shout out to Chikara, because Airwolf versus A-Kid. A-Kid is a Spanish wrestler. Airwolf is actually a guy who was trained here in Minnesota.
Yep.
Those two like tore the house down at Chikara. It was a lot of fun.
Nice. So those are your greatest hits from the indies. Yep. Perfect. All right, let's dive into it head first. We're gonna go chronological, as opposed to how we did the predictions video. Thank you all that watched that. Appreciate it. All the new subscribers, great. Thanks for subscribing, all that stuff. But we're gonna go Friday through Tuesday. So Takeover happened Friday night. 5 matches on the card. It was a tight card. It was a great show. We started off with the War Raiders and Ricochet and Aleister Black. It was just a hell of a match. Regardless of knowing that outcome, that match had so many moments, and then that finish with Ricochet and Aleister Black in the ring, and like Ricochet breaking down into tears and stuff like that. That was emotional. Plus, you thought he might have been hurt, because that finish, when he took that finish from, what was it, the leg drop?
Yeah, the fallout.
Yeah. When he takes that from the War Raiders, he's on his neck. And then, I don't remember which one it was. This is like pinning him harder on his neck.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, let him fall down and then pin him maybe. I don't know. But Great match. What were your takeaways from that match?
I loved it. It was I've always been a huge fan of tag team wrestling. So you give me a good tag match, it will be like it was probably my second favorite match of the whole weekend.
Really?
So yeah,
really. Yeah, it was a close contender for match of the night for me for Takeover for sure.
Yeah, it was so close between this and like the main event for like match of Takeover, but like I said, I love tag team wrestling, so
yeah,
I always prefer those a little bit.
So
and yeah, Ricochet and Aleister Black got the big huge send off from the Brooklyn crowd, which they will be in front of a lot.
Yep, apparently
the next 2 days.
They were the hardest working dudes this whole weekend, and we'll kind of break that down as this video goes through. We both pick up a point. We both predicted War Raiders. So way to go us. Matt Riddle, Velveteen Dream came up next, which I was like, wow, that's I thought that'd be a little bit later in the card, but I can see why that went second like after I saw the rest of it break down. I understood. This match was good, not great. I'd say underwhelming from I think my expectations of it, but it was still enjoyable. And are there maybe hints of Riddle turning heel? Yeah, he was getting pretty frustrated there.
Yeah, I think he could get a little bit frustrated with that. We'll have to see going forward, but yeah, he could be maybe a little frustrated, but I mean, he's the original Bro, so it's real hard to have him be that much of a bad guy. I mean, he did it on the Indies, but I see Riddle just probably going up for bigger and better things. And we're recording this before the NXT tapings.
Well, the NXT. Well, the takeover that'll air tonight is literally just the pre-show matches or the Axis matches. Because I heard Harper and Big Dominic Divakovic. They had a hell of a match at Axis. Apparently,
I'm not.
There was
surprised
some crazy stuff happened in that. So hopefully that'll be on this week's takeover. Yeah. But we'll see. It'll probably be the pre-show matches from Brooklyn, but that's fine. Velveteen Dream picks up the win, retains. I got a point for that. You went with Riddle, so I'm up 2-1 going into match number 3, which turned out to be why am I drawing a blank here?
Match 3 was Walter versus Pete Dunne.
Oh yeah, that's because it's at the top.
Yeah.
This was close for match of the night.
Yeah.
This for me, like, it was the slowest of all the matches, and maybe did go a little bit too long, but the brutality in this match, those chops, some of that joint manipulation. I think they went with the finger stuff maybe a little too much because you can only break someone's finger so many times.
Yeah, but it made sense with Walter because he was trying to negate the chops.
Right. Hurt the hand.
Yeah, so hurt the hand so you can't chop as much or as hard. So like storytelling wise, it made sense. But yeah, it was a really good match. I was joking with my roommate that Walter basically got to beat up Tom Lawler and PCO last year. And he took out and he ripped both of their chests apart. Like if you've seen the pictures of PCO's chest after spring break last year, it's disgusting. Like, but we said it's like, yeah, he didn't get to do that to 2 people. He just did all of that to Pete Dunne.
Yeah, it was the right outcome too. Walter picks up the victory, which we both pick up a point there. So I'm still up 1, 3-2 now. But yeah, that was the right move because I'm really hoping Pete Dunne, with the shakeup happening, and we'll get to that when we get to Raw SmackDown. But I really hope he's coming over to the main roster or at least NXT proper.
Yeah.
Because they need somebody, because he can turn heel quick, and they need a good dominant heel right now over on NXT. They don't really have one now that Tommaso Ciampa's
Ciampa's going to be out for a while.
Gargano's full face again.
Yep.
So there's no thing of that.
So your only real heels like towards the top of the card are Undisputed Era, which is not a terrible thing to have. You've got 4 of the best guys on the planet there and kind of being underutilized, really.
It's true.
But yeah, like Pete Dunne could be beneficial to, you know, wherever he goes, because he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. So
we'll see what happens with that next. Within the penultimate match is Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane, Bianca Belair, and Io Shirai as the 4-way for the women's match. Not gonna say this was the weakest match of the night. I actually think it overperformed for my expectations.
Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun, and I liked the dynamic between the Sky Pirates too, and the fact that like they were working together, but also like both of them want this title. So,
well, that's kind of that led into the finish really, because Io Shirai went for the pin, Kairi Sane pulled her off. They ended up tussling to the outside, which was a great moment. And then Bianca Belair slides in to try to take Baszler down. She gets choked out. And then, boom, Shayna retains.
Yep.
I was shocked. I thought Shayna was going to lose. If there was any match to have Shayna lose and, like, you know, not get pinned and take the belt away from her with still having her look strong, it was this.
Yep.
Shocked they didn't do it. So I'm really interested to see, because now where do they go with this women's division in NXT? Yeah. That's the big question.
And one thing, a couple podcasts that I listened to for reviews and stuff pointed out is the fact that Shayna won without any interference from Jessamine or Marina.
Right, yeah, the horsewomen,
like no interference from the horsewomen. She did it straight up by herself, clean, no cheating at all. So,
yeah, where do they go from there? I mean, maybe she gets drafted, or not drafted, but maybe she gets called up in the shakeup. I don't know. It's a weird time. The next week or so is gonna be weird. So, all right, nobody got a point in that because we both got a point in that because we both picked Shayna.
Yeah,
so
we both picked Shayna.
So it's 3-4.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. Going into the final. And then we got Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole. Baby. I
still couldn't find my Johnny Wrestling shirt. It's somewhere.
And I have another Adam Cole shirt that I broke out for this video. 2 out of 3 falls. NXT Championship was on the line. This was match of the night. This was crazy. The amount of just shots that Johnny Gargano took, what do they call it? Was it the Panama special or whatever that movie kept hitting? Was
the last shot
Panama City, whatever, because he used like finishers that I guess he used to use in the indies.
Yeah, which like I wasn't a huge fan of him on the indies, so like I didn't know for sure like what they were. And I was watching it like with my roommate and stuff, so we were talking over it, so I didn't hear as much of the commentary, even though Morrow is obviously awesome.
Oh, best going. I watch him and I'm just like, cause I do some commentary work and stuff, and I listen to him and I'm like, I'm just little things I'm picking up on.
There's chance like that thanks to Morrow on shows he's not even involved in. There was a Mamma Mia chant during multiple Mamma Mia chants during the G1 Supercard.
That was amazing. So Adam Cole picks up the first fall. Johnny Gargano picks up the second fall. The third fall obviously takes forever. Finisher, move, drop on your head. I mean,
Rest of Undisputed comes out.
Oh, that's right. Johnny took them out in this beautiful like DDT to spinning kick to drop DDT. It was some just. Go watch. If you haven't seen this match, and I don't know why you're watching this video if you haven't, but go watch it. And if you had, just go watch it again after you're done watching this video because it's that good.
Yeah, it's real good.
It might have been my match of the weekend. I'll say that.
Yeah, like it was so close, like between this and the tag match.
That was
like I debated. It's like, oh, which one was better? Or because I always keep a match of the year list.
Yep.
And they're right next to each other.
Oh, yeah. 1 and 1A for sure.
Yeah.
So Johnny Gargano picks up the final fall, finally culminating in what is his moment. He gets the championship. Candice comes out. They get to the ramp. Someone's music hits. Boom. Blackheart comes out. It's Tommaso Ciampa with the neck brace. No shenanigans, no anything funny, just an embrace. Beautiful moment to end Takeover. I was disappointed. I wanted Adam Cole to win. I was going crazy. I was literally on the floor. I'm like screaming. I wish my fiance would have literally taped some of my reactions to that match because I was losing it. Losing on the false finishes. They had me hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
But I guess it's the right outcome. And honestly, they had a video for Slipknot. It's gonna be like the new opening for NXT.
Okay.
It came out 2 days or something before Takeover, or maybe a couple days. It was literally Johnny Gargano in the front the whole time, and literally the whole thing was built around Johnny Gargano. I was like, Johnny Gargano's winning.
Okay.
I kind of accepted that fact, but I was like, maybe that's a swerve, but no. And that was the right one. So we finished Takeover. 4 points for you, 4 points for me. So
okay.
So 4 out of 5. Wait, is that right? Yeah. 4 out of 5. Yeah, we both got 4 points. So we're tied after Takeover. We're both tied at 4 points. Going into the G1 Supercard, the rest, literally, Takeover was 3 hours. Everything just gets longer from here.
Yes.
And then it culminates on Sunday and then gets shorter again until Smackdown, which was nice, I guess. It's like a crescendo and then bring down, but it wasn't really.
Yeah.
But the G1 Supercard, Saturday night, Madison Square Garden, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor. Lot of weird stuff happened in this show, and I don't think we're gonna go match by match a little bit.
There was a great New Japan show, and Ring of Honor also was there.
Yeah, that's very well put. Very well put. We will talk about some of the shenanigans. The Honor Rumble was the pre-show match. It was Ring of Honor booking at its finest. They had a great moment with Jushin Thunder Liger. Great call being the final two. Great Muda.
Great Muda out of nowhere. Because, like, that was... I was watching it with a couple buddies. My buddy Rob Page, who's a referee around here, and our friend Scott. And we're both... As soon as Liger comes out at, like, 23, we're like, what? You'd think they'd save him for last... But then, like, 30 comes out, and it's like, oh, it's Muda. This is why.
Right. That was crazy moment that was about to happen, and then Kenny King slides in and throws them both out and wins it. So, some 40-year-old, he's like 40 years old, right? Kenny King or something like that.
Yeah.
I read, like, there's no reason Ring of Honor booking at its finest. Also, King Haku was out there.
Yeah, King Haku, which was cool.
There were some cool moments, but it was a pre-show match, so whatever. Then the night started with, I don't even remember. Will Ospreay, Jeff Cobb was right off the get.
Yeah.
Which was a great move because it kind of, the card suffered from that opening match, I think, until the later matches. But Jeff Cobb picks up the win. He's the never open weight and the TV champion.
Yep.
So that was
the first champ of the weekend.
The first double champ of the weekend. Yep. The first Jeff Cobb 2 belts.
Yep.
Now that we're calling people that. But that was an awesome match. That was literally really close to my top match of that card. Honestly,
it was it was so much fun.
It was fast.
Yeah.
It was hard. Their styles meshed really well.
Yep. Well, and like I said, now this means like we're gonna get more Jeff Cobb in New Japan, which I'm okay with. Who knows like what Ospreay's gonna do from here? He's on the initial graphic for Best of Super Juniors, even though he technically sort of went up to heavyweight. But I think they need him for because they're doing Sumo Hall. Finals. So they need Ospreay to help
draw.
Actually draw.
Yeah. Ospreay's a heck of a draw.
Yep.
But he lost. Jeff Cobb's the first double champ. Then we had, what was it, Dalton Castle and Roosh?
Yeah, Dalton Castle and Roosh.
It was like a 30-second match.
Yep.
Roosh just smokes him twice, picks up the victory.
Yep.
I got a point for Jeff Cobb. We both get a point for Roosh.
Yep.
That was a quick match. Nothing really to say. You know.
It should be interesting moving forward with Dalton Castle as a heel without the boys.
Yeah, because he beat him up afterwards. Or did he beat up one or both?
He beat up both of them.
Yeah, he was just beating them up.
They're twins. So
because they left their fan in the ring.
Yeah.
And he went to give it to him. Roosh hit him, boom, boom, boom in the corner, and then just hit 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Did the Bully Ray match come next? Yeah. The Bully Ray match did come next.
It was Bully Ray.
Yeah, it was the Bully Ray New York Street fight. And this was way better than I think anybody had any anticipation it was going to be.
Yeah, it was not a singles match, which I am actually glad about because more people got on this card if
it was Bully Ray comes out and then Shane Silas.
So Bully Ray came out and he took out Juice Robinson earlier in the night, or at least it sounds like maybe Silas Young took out Juice Robinson earlier in the night. So he still has his open challenge. Out comes Flip Gordon, which was a nice return.
You called that.
And And so then Silas Young and Shane Taylor come out. Oh, but then Juice is fine and comes out with Mark Haskins, which was super cool because, like I said, I'm a big fan of Mark Haskins from all the Progress stuff that I've watched. And so it's like, oh, Haskins didn't just fly here for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because he, weirdly enough, wasn't on any other indie shows.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, okay, hopefully he's on this card because it would be...
You fly over to get a paycheck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So then that broke out into a 3 versus a 6-man tag.
Yep, 6-man tag.
Or not a 6-man tag, it was a 6-man street fight.
Yeah.
And the Juice, Flip, and Mark Haskins pick up the win.
Yeah.
It was good.
After the what's up,
yeah,
like headbutt and everything,
yeah.
and then the 450 from Flip. So
Flip looked good.
Flip looked good.
Cut.
Yeah.
He was looking trim. He had definitely been hitting the gym. Oh, and then I think they went. Then I think it was Mayu Iwatani and and Kelly Klein. I didn't watch a lot of this match. I'm gonna be honest. A couple times I tried. It took me like 2 days to get through the G1. I'm gonna be honest there.
Yeah, it was a long.
It was 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
I can't sit. I don't have 5.5 hours. Like I don't have 5.5 hours to sit. So I got through it in like 2 different days. The women's match kind of got cut. I watched part of it and then like the second part of it. It seemed like a 5 match, but it seemed like people were really disappointed with the outcome. And Kelly Klein retains. I don't know. You have any
Kelly
thoughts on this
Klein
one?
retains. Kind of turns babyface because she was being a little bit heelish leading up. And then the post match happens, and the beautiful people are back as the Allure, joining Mandy Leone, who was on commentary, and that happened.
We didn't get any points off it, so I was disappointed.
Yeah.
So, he picked up half a point for the Colin Flip Gordon return at the Bully Ray match. So, He picks up a half point for that. Then we got Ishimori versus Dragon Lee versus Bandito.
Yep.
And that was a very fast match, but right up there for match of the night, just in sheer pace and insanity, I guess.
And like spectacular moves. Like Bandito always does, like one of his signature moves is that fall away Spanish fly, which he did on both guys, which looked insane.
It did. It did.
He almost landed on his head. It was scary. Because it's April in New Japan, so somebody's going to land on their head on a Spanish fly like Ospreay did last year.
So much landing on heads.
Yeah.
I honestly, there was a lot of landing on heads. Not as much in the later match I thought there'd be, but there was a lot. Dragon Lee picks up the surprise victory. But you had a great theory on why Dragon Lee picked up the surprise victory.
Well, Dragon Lee is basically the career rival to Hiromu Takahashi, who is just about back. And he's also the one who injured Hiromu Takahashi last year. So, yeah, Takahashi Hiromu is coming back soon. And what better way to have him feud with, and take the title off Dragon Lee. So
would you rather see him feud with Dragon Lee than Ishimori?
Yes, because I think it means more just because they've literally since Hiromu went on excursion to CMLL, they have been feuding ever since, and that was 6 years ago. I think.
Wow. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
He was on excursion for like 3 years as opposed to like 2 or 1 or 2 like everybody else does because CMLL was using him so much.
Dang. All right. Well, then after the Dragon Lee match, would you like to see him go versus Ishimori, or because Ishimori's going to stay at?
Yeah, Ishimori's going to. Ishimori kind of, to me, he's taken over the kind of Kushida role of like he's going to be the one who's there that they can throw him in at any point in time to have amazing matches with somebody. And win or lose, like it's justifiable. So
right. All right, we both had Ishimori, so we don't pick up many points. Man, we're doing not so great on this Ring of Honor match.
Terrible predictions
for this one. Yeah, if you were betting on our predictions, I really hope you didn't go G1.
Yeah,
Takeover top notch.
We were pretty good. Yeah,
not G1, not G1 at all. And then the craziest match of the night, and not even in like the match, but just in all the things surrounding it and kind of the match. You got Evil Sonata versus God versus Villain Enterprises versus the Briscoes. This was a good match. And we'll talk about, I guess we got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, we have to.
Because it's a full-on work. Like Enzo and Cash showed up. Like. Good bad guy Tamatonga put out a tweet that said Enzo and Cash showing up or something, Ring of Honor booking at its finest. Like literally on his Twitter account. Yeah. So if he's saying that, I'm almost guaranteeing now that this is a legit thing. So the match is over. God wins after a fabulous match. Thank you for turning me on to POC, by the way, because I've never really heard of him before. We talked about him the other day. He's fucking insane.
Yeah, he's insane.
Dude, he came to life in an electric chair. Yeah. He took some crazy bumps and then
power bomb to the outside, which like I was thinking as they were setting it up, it's like, oh, the guys are out there like to catch him. No, completely to the floor because he's a crazy person.
All the best parts in that match mostly involved him. Him to the most extent. I think he shined the most in that match.
Well, and apparently also right after, so Brody King does this match and literally runs to his gear because he had a friend who was doing a wrestling drag show as him, like doing like the performance as him. And he comes out in the middle of it to join in on the performance.
That's hilarious.
Like, that's awesome.
That's hilarious. That was a good match. But so God picks up the victory. They're the double champs. But that celebration we don't see, and then the transpiring stuff we barely see because all of a sudden two douchebags jump the guardrail, and it turns out to be Enzo and Cass or whatever they're going to call them.
Yeah,
because I don't think they can call them Enzo and Cass.
Yep.
I think they can still use Enzo if he goes by Enzio. But that's skirting the line. They're waiting. That. I don't know. But either way, whatever they're going to call Moron 1 and 2, they jump the guardrail, get their asses beat by the Briscoes. Bully Ray runs out of the back.
Came
did
out.
not look in the beginning. It did not look like a work. As things start to transpire afterwards, that's when you realize it was because, like you said, security wasn't like dragging them out. They were like
wasn't dragging them
walking them out slowly. They're flipping birds of the finger. Cass is just yelling obscenities at people. Although Tamatonga was swearing in that tag match.
Well, that's the Tamatonga thing. It was definitely a New Japan production for sure that they didn't want to highlight that at all.
Commentary ignored it.
Yeah, commentary ignored it. Ignored it except for Colt Cabana like looking back and being like, what's going on?
Yeah, he didn't know what to do. The rest of them were just like, keep moving forward. And Colt was like, and one other one said like something about trying to get attention. But they said they had these shirts that said still certified, which was like, oh, come on. Their shirt said still certified. And it was just, I almost wore my Cass and I do have an Enzo and Cass, how you doing? The NXT shirt.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause it was awesome back then.
Before we realized how problematic they both are. Yeah.
So that happened. Yano stole the belts.
Yeah. I was gonna say like we have to mention Yano stealing the belts, which will probably set up back in New Japan. Yano and Togi Makabe, who are a tag team called the Most Violent Players, going for the tag titles, which could be fun. I like Toru Yano a lot, and it's a nice kind of holdover feud.
That's what I was just thinking. That sounds like a nice filler feud.
Yep. It's like, okay, we'll do that until this summer, and then something real can happen.
That sounds like we'll get to later with two people in WWE, but we'll get to that later. Women involved in that one. I think I know you know who I'm talking about. Then we got Zack Sabre Jr. versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the British Heavyweight Champion, the Rev Pro Champion. I picked up a point for God. Got one. So Zack Sabre Jr., Hiroshi Tanahashi, they suffered because of what happened. This match suffered. The crowd was really weird for this match. They got into it in the later stages, but I think after all the kerfuffle and that tag match, they were just in a tough spot on the card, especially with the 3 matches that were about to come right after this match. It was a good match. Zack Sabre won, which was the right call, and I don't really have much more else to say about this match.
it's hooray. The finisher is like hooray, another year, or thanks to the inevitable progress of something. It's a paragraph long description for his finisher, but it's a double octopus, both your hands behind your. It just looks painful. Tanahashi had to say "I quit" to referee Chris Roberts, who is the Rev Pro official. Who I like the fact that New Japan flies him out for the British Heavyweight Championship matches because he is the Rev Pro official. But yeah, it had, because it was a slower pace, especially right after the tag match and then right after like the next match coming up, it was a slower pace, so the crowd kind of wasn't as into it. The crowd clearly was tired at this point because it had already been a long show.
Oh, they woke back up though for those last three matches. Yep. Man, did they! One thing I did forget to mention in the beginning. So we were wondering what kind of turnbuckles they're going to have.
Yeah,
2 of each.
Yeah, 2 of each.
One side is the flats. One side is the triple.
Yep. And yeah, it was red and blue for the flat ones, so it's cool.
Yeah, I was totally cool with that. Yeah. So then the meaty meat of the card, the craziest of the crazy matches: Tetsuya Naito versus Kota Ibushi. I'm just gonna come out and say this is match of the night for me. This thing was bananas. Yeah. I mean, this was it as good as their match at New Japan Cup? Maybe not as violent, but I think told a better story.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it told a better story. Like, it had me more invested, for sure. Yeah, this was close in my match of the weekend and overall. But yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
Like, so good. I like Ibushi's little tributes to Nakamura. Hitting the Boomaye, because that's what it's called.
Not the Kinshasa?
Yeah.
And he hit it, what, 2 or 3 times?
He hit the Boomaye twice and then hit the Kamigoya, which is the double wrist clutch, which pull-in knee, which is the Kamigoya, which is the God Killer.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. He picks up the win. He is your new IWGP Intercontinental Champion. I was really happy. Number one, I picked up a point again for that one. So I'm just looking like a great New Japan mind at this point. I didn't expect them to pull the trigger on it. Like, yeah, I was surprised.
It wasn't that I didn't want him to win. I wanted him to win, but
like you said, you want to see him win it versus, like you were saying in the predictions video, versus Nakamura.
Yep. When
he eventually, hopefully, leaves WWE and goes back to Japan where he's appreciated and used properly. Yeah. But that's still, I mean, there were just so many spots. Go back and watch that. If you're going to do like a greatest hits of the weekend, put this match on there. We'll watch all of TakeOver. Just don't even skip any of it. Yeah. Then watch like this match. And if you're into street fights, watch the Bully Ray stuff. And then if you like car wrecks, the Evil and the tag match.
Yeah.
All right, double main event. So the Ring of Honor main event comes first, which was a good idea. Jay Lethal, who's the champ, versus Taven versus Marty Scurll. This was a good match. I watched this match while I was in physical therapy doing stretches, so I can't say that I watched like I was locked in because I wasn't sitting at home on the couch.
Did you at least get to see Jay Lethal dump the ladder out and impale a fan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The X, when it was set up in the X. Yep. Yes, I did see that. My
favorite chant of the weekend, the "That's a lawsuit" chant that broke out right after.
The crowd was good. The crowd was good. The crowd was super hot for this Ring of Honor show. And even though it went long, they were super hot, which I can't say the same for the Mania in the next night.
Yeah.
But I was really happy because this match was good. Taven picks up the victory. Crowd boos. Nobody wanted to see him win, apparently. I'm not, like I said, I don't watch Ring of Honor.
But it was a surprise. It was a surprise move, but it made sense in the overall scheme of things because Marty's contract is up soon. And like they just needed yeah. Well, I mean, he's in the intro still for being the Elite. Like,
subtle.
I mean, he's not credited, but I mean, he's in the intro. It's like
subtle.
Yeah. And yeah, like Taven, it makes sense. It hopefully means that you know, we can get some of the baby faces, you know, from Lifeblood, probably Flip actually, going after Taven. So.
Okay. Jay Lethal takes a step back after here. And Skrull's out of there probably. So, yeah, you're right. The purple ladder was cool.
Yeah.
Like the big purple ladder. Like when he pulled that out, I was like, "Whoa, this dude's winning it."
Yeah. Well, and for once, like the last 2 Ring of Honor shows, they've actually been really good about, well, I guess there was some interference a little bit in the 60-minute time limit draw, but like I like the fact that even though I didn't like the finish, I like the fact that Taven actually won it completely by himself again, and no interference from the rest of the kingdom, which has been prevalent in a lot of his matches.
No interference from Villain Enterprises to help Skrull. So yeah, it was nice to just let those 3 shine in that match. So that was a good match. Then we get to the main event of the weekend, the
IWGP Heavyweight Championship matchup.
Thank you.
Kazuchika Okada challenging IWGP Heavyweight Champion Jay White.
Yeah.
Switchblade.
Okada won.
Dang it. It was great. But they clearly were running out of time. So my whole, there's going to be confetti and you're going to have the bucks dropping and all that stuff. And it's like, we didn't have time for it.
Nope. There was no confetti at the end of any show, actually, that I think about. There's no confetti fell. That's weird. They're trying to, it's pollution, I can see why not. But yeah, that was a good match. That was a really good match. Much better than their Wrestle Kingdom match. Much better than I think their first match.
Yep.
This was the best match these two have had together.
Yes.
Jay White in defeat still looks great.
Yep.
I think he's got a lot of naysayers that I wasn't aware of when I first tuned into New Japan. But apparently he does. And I think he's winning even some of them over with his performances. I know he is young. He's only like 26.
Yeah.
He's sick that like him, Dream, these dudes are so young and so good.
Yep.
Dunn, Tyler Bates.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. What have I done with my life? Nothing. God, I'm so sad now. Well, talking about sad, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, so New Japan, it was a good show. Or G1 Supercard, good show, not a great show. It had its moments. The last 3 matches really helped it to end strong.
Yes.
Which leaves a good taste in everyone's mouth leaving. So I think it'll get a little bit more love. We finished the predictions of that one 5 out of 9 for me, 3.5 out of 9 for Mr. Kyle. So that is how that ended.
So you've got 7. You've got 9 total out of the 14
for Saturday. For the first 2 events. Yep, 9 out of 14.
I've got 7.5.
7.5 out of 14.
Yep.
So moving on to WrestleMania. Oh my God, it was long. 7.5 hours is so long. You got to cut it. You got to do something. 16 matches too much. Either jam more on the pre-show. I don't need a 5-minute breakdown of every match. Maybe a 2-minute breakdown and throw 2 more matches on there. You know what I mean? Just to help the finish. Yep. And to just help the pre-show. Honestly, you have a 2-hour pre-show. If you fit 6 matches in there, even throw 2 more matches in there, right?
Yeah.
You help that pre-show immensely, and you help the main card exponentially.
Yes.
Right? But that's, neither here nor there. Let's go right through it. Pre-show opener, Buddy Murphy, Tony Nese, Cruiserweights starting it off. They're going to get time, but they didn't get a ton of time. It was an all right match. Tony Nese is your new Cruiserweight champion. It was good. It was good.
And I will, because you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, I will point out, if you guys out there are looking to watch more wrestling after this week's 205 Live, they have the rematch of this, and it's actually a better match because they get a lot more time, and actually the WrestleMania, obviously it's SmackDown after Mania crowd was super invested in this match
because they shoot 205 Live now pre SmackDown, right?
It depends where they are.
Okay, because I don't think they do they do it after. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it depends, but I think a lot of times they shoot it beforehand now.
On the East Coast, they'll shoot it before. On the West Coast, they'll shoot it after.
That makes sense.
Kind of thing.
Oh yeah, because the times and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But that was a good match. It was a good opener. It could have used 5-10 more minutes, but it looks like they got it on 205 Live. So go check that out. I'm gonna watch it when I have a couple days to just decompress.
Yes.
The second match was the Women's Battle Royal, which we didn't call because when we did our predictions, there was this wasn't on.
Yeah, they
no one talked about it
yet.
So Mello won. It was sloppy. Ember Moon's back. She looked good. Kairi Sane was in it. She looked all right. And then Candice LeRae was in it. That was cool. Yep. That was cool to see Candice in it again because she was in the Royal Rumble too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she was in the Royal Rumble. So yeah, her husband wins the NXT title. She gets a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
So
it was cool. It was cool. Mello won. I would have liked to see Sarah Logan looked really good because she got rid of a lot of people. I would have much rather liked to see her get the rub than Mella, but Mella's money.
Yep. It's like I like Carmella a lot, but like how they had it set up. This is honestly every women's battle royal they've done. It's been the second to last person eliminated is who should have won.
Yeah.
Because it was last year's Mania one was I can't remember who won last.
Naomi
won, but it was the Bayley moment. Bayley finally stands up for herself against Sasha Banks, throws her out, has the big moment, then Naomi comes in, throws her out. The one at Evolution, you finally had Ember Moon standing up and actually defeating, even though it was just a battle royal, defeating Asuka, which she'd never done before. Huge moment, but then that was Nia won that one. And then the same thing right here. It's like the second to last person is the person who like should have won. Yeah.
WWE's good about doing that, though.
Yeah.
They're good about screwing things up. So, pre-show match number 3, because, there's only 4 matches in the pre-show. Yeah. The Raw Tag Team Champions, we didn't call this one, but it was the Revival versus Ryder and Hawkins.
Yeah, this was announced like the day before.
It was set up on a WWE.com exclusive.
Okay.
It literally, if you didn't watch the piece of exclusive content on their wherever, app, YouTube, wherever, then you didn't know this was going to happen. And it was a decent match, but Ryder and Hawkins won. I don't know.
Ryder and Hawkins won.
I don't know.
The only cool thing, and I didn't even remember this because they were separate classes, Ryder, Hawkins, and Tony Nese were all trained by the same person, which was Mikey Whipwreck from ECW.
Really?
Because they're all Long Island guys.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, which I didn't even think about, and it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. So there's a picture that they took backstage of the 3 of them holding their belts, which is like, okay, this kind of makes me like this.
That's an awesome moment. Well, it was for the 2 guys from New York, Ryder and Hawkins, both locals. For them to get that moment was cool at the expense of the Revival.
Yeah, that's my
problem with it. And then we'll get to Raw later. Match number 4, the armbar, it did go on. Remember, I was afraid that they weren't going to do it, but they did do it, and the Cruiserweights still didn't make the main show, which is just heart-wrenching. Even though WrestleMania ended at 11:30 our time.
Yeah.
That was awful. On the East Coast, it would have been after midnight. It would have been 12:30.
Ridiculous. So much so that Transit had already shut down, which was...
That's a nightmare. That is a nightmare. Braun wins. Ali took a table to the head that looked awful.
Yeah, because it was Ali, Luke Harper, the returning Luke Harper, was going to suplex Ali. Braun was the one who dumped both of them out, and then Ali bounced and smacked his head right on the announce table.
So he fell back, his back hit, he sat up, and the corner of the table was right there. It was amazing. Scary, but amazing. Yeah. Andrade had that sweet self-elimination with the flip to one of the Lucha House Party boys.
Yep.
But yeah, Braun wins, called it. Good. Ali was there late.
Yeah,
he was there late, but so that was the first actual match we predicted. So armbar. I'm up 1-0 in the Mania predictions. So then we go into the show, and we start off with, okay, Yes, Alexa Bliss hosted. She can make a WrestleMania moment in the snap of her fingers, and she chooses to bring out Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Yawn.
Yeah.
Cry. Well, when Stone Cold turns you down, The Rock's busy, and you really don't have anybody else who's not already being utilized in the show in another capacity, trot him out, I guess.
I mean, he was there because he inducted Beefcake the night before, I think. I didn't watch the Hall of Fame yet.
Oh, but one thing you saw the Bret Hart got attacked at the Hall of Fame? Yeah, we won't even talk about that because that's not even, I don't want to give that dude no attention. Plus, it wasn't, people like that aren't fans. They're just crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they got, who cares? Hogan, Alexa Bliss, doesn't even matter. Paul Heyman walks out, interrupts it. Yeah. And he's like, if we're not going on last, we're going on first.
Yeah.
And then we're out of here to Las Vegas where we'll be ultimately appreciated or something like that. Wink, wink, nod, nod. UFC. Although I saw someone was confused because they thought they were talking about AEW because their show's in Vegas. And it's like, no. They're talking about UFC.
I mean... They've got a lot of money. They don't have Brock money.
Well, and Brock would have no interest, like zero interest. He doesn't even like wrestling. He just likes big paydays and doing whatever he wants. So Brock's not a person you want to work with. But yeah, so him versus Seth Rollins comes on first, and then he beats the crap out of Seth Rollins. Literally, I thought almost breaks his back. You see those welts?
Yeah.
F5. I mean, he tossed Rollins into one of the German announcers at a speed which normal men shouldn't throw other men at. And that German announcer took it like he's a manly German announcer. Yeah. Even though he looked like he was 60. That was like he got up nothing. I was impressed. If that was Cole, he'd be on the ground, doctors and stuff. Yeah. That was Corey Graves. He'd cry about it the whole night.
It's like hopefully, like if they would have done that to Cole, that would have been a terrible show going forward since he commentated literally like every match.
And lost his voice at the end. Yeah. That was amazing. So yeah, curb stop, Seth Rollins is your new Universal Champion. Boom, right off the bat. That's how they give you one of your great moments. Seth Rollins takes the title. Yeah,
we got three big like babyface wins like throughout the card, and
I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah,
I honestly didn't think it was possible, but they did it and they pulled it off beautifully.
Yeah, I think honestly, like why it worked was because they spread everything out so much.
They had to do it that way. If they had to put everything, you know, they literally, one was first, one was right in the middle, and one was last. Now the length hurt the last one, and we'll get to that later. Yeah. Second match of the night: AJ Styles versus Randall Keith Orton. This was just underwhelming. I would say, like it could have been a lot better. It could have been worse. Yeah. But we thought I don't know. This match was good. It was good. It could have been better.
Yeah. Well, like it was the guys on Post Wrestling said this was a below average AJ Styles match and a above average Randy Orton match.
Beautifully put.
So
AJ Styles picked up the victory, and we both pick up a point.
Yeah, we both got that.
We did both get that. Oh, we both got Rollins too.
Yeah, so we both got Rollins.
So it's 3-2 right now.
Yep.
In the Mania prediction. So we're going strong. We're looking good. We're looking good early. The third match is the SmackDown Championship match, which we didn't predict because it hadn't really been announced when we did our predictions video, but it was the Usos versus The Bar versus Ricochet and Black versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev, and the Usos retained. But it was a way better match than I had anticipated. If you would have asked me going into the weekend, which 4-man tag are you more excited for? GOD, Villain Enterprises, Briscoes, and Evil and Sonata, or this match, I would have said the New Japan match or the New Japan ROH match. Honestly, this match was better. Now, does the end zone cast stuff maybe hurt that other match slightly? Maybe.
Yes.
But Ricochet is a star. That dude shined all weekend. This match he shined. Takeover, obviously, and we'll get to Raw SmackDown. But I think he was the star.
We got the flip, or was that on SmackDown itself the week before of the flip and then Aleister Black sitting down cross-legged, and then Ricochet's just popping down right next to him. That was that during this match?
I think they did that during this match.
Okay.
And they did do it. They did it with...
They top it
yes,
on SmackDown.
Later, So, the Usos retained. Like I said, we didn't pick this match, but it was really good. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
We were off to a pretty strong start, and this was paced. The beginning part of Mania was paced wonderfully. They could have. Guys, see, it's hard to like say where you would cut minutes from because if you make some of these, you know, it's really hard to say where you trim. That's why you either got to make less matches. You just have to make less matches. You just have to.
Yeah, because it was just like honestly, it wasn't the latter half of the card was like bad because it was still really good. It was just the crowd was so drained.
It was Sunday night past 10 o'clock, and there was like 6 matches to go. We'll get to there. Miz versus Shane O'Mac is next. Falls count anywhere. We said in our predictions video this match is going to be better than it has any right to be, and boy, were we right.
It was.
It was amazing. The Miz's dad got involved. He squared up Shane in the ring. Of course, there were crazy table spots. Of course, at one point, Shane slides off a golf cart and falls 6 feet. And then they climb to the top of a camera tower and do a giant suplex off the camera tower through a box in the bottom. But in the fall, Miz ends up under Shane O'Mac with his shoulders on the ground. 1, 2, 3. Shane O'Mac picks up the victory. What?
Yeah, it's like, what does this mean moving forward? What? Like, probably the feud going on longer, which I'm actually fine with because it's been good. And then, you finally get Miz getting his redemption down the line. So, yeah.
And I hope winning Money in the Bank. He's my front runner for Money in the Bank, which actually happens next month.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's not June. Where's Extreme Rules? Extreme Rules is off, and it's just straight into Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
That is odd. I'm just going to say it. Odd.
Yeah, it's odd. Like, I'm not sure. Like, because it feels like you need a little break.
Yeah, why put Money? Because I thought Money in the Bank was supposed to be one of the big, like, it was supposed to be like the big 5 now. And you can't have it right after Mania and call it a big 5.
No.
So either whatever. Boston Hug Connection versus the Iconics versus the Samoan Slaughterhouse versus Natty and Beth Phoenix is the 5th match, the Women's Tag Championship match. This was a good match. But most importantly, the Iconics won, which I called. Yes.
I was not like when you said that, I'm like, yeah, sure, that'll happen. It's like, and then it happens.
I was so happy. I was so happy.
Yeah. Natty and Beth also came out with Bret Hart, which should be noted, which is kind of cool. I joked, but I'm almost positive this is actually correct. I think that was the first time Bret Hart has ever gotten pyro.
Really?
At least in WWF.
Wow.
/E. You know?
Right. That'd be interesting.
Because that wasn't a thing, really.
And I gotta say, I was taking shots at Beth Phoenix on the predictions video. Damn, she can still go.
She can still go.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was impressed. I was hella impressed. Sad to see Bailey's things didn't inflate. That was amazing. That was so good. So good.
That kind of should have been like the sign of like, oh, they're definitely not winning. Look at this.
The Iconics won. It was a 5 match. It was nice. It was good. It was a good moment, but it was nothing compared to what came next. Because the 6th match, right dead center in the middle of the card, Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, the WWE Championship match. It did not disappoint. It did not. You know who won. Kofi won. It's on the thumbnail for the video. Kofi sitting on the shoulders of Big E and Xavier with his kids in the ring.
Yeah. It was just an awesome moment. And, like, it's such a good moment. I think it hurt the rest of the show because they had that emotional high. And it's like, oh, we still have, like, 2 more hours of this.
We're only half done. It was I don't know if you put it on later if it doesn't hurt more.
Yeah.
Because I think what their thought was is it could be high enough where they can recover by the end, but they just didn't apparently. And I think one of the matches that hurt that is, we'll get to it, but it was Triple H and Batista.
Yeah.
I'll just, because it was not whatever, but this match was everything it needed to be. It was literally everything it needed to be. I don't care that WWE put out the Kofi shirt online during the match. Why are you on WWE Shop during this match anyways? Yeah. Why aren't you locked in? Why are you on the internet? If they put it out during the match, I didn't know it until afterwards.
Yeah.
So I had no idea that it happened. So it literally did not diminish it for me at all. That was a great moment, having his kids and then opening the box and having the shirts and then revealing the championship. And everyone's like, well, you could tell the belt was under there. Well, yeah, but it almost looked like it was a holder for the red belt or for the other belt. You know what I mean?
Which at least like they did that. Cause like I saw the podium thing and it's like, oh great, the new belt's under that. And it's like, okay, and then they put the thing over it, and it's like, okay, well, maybe it was just a holder. but it's like I still have a feeling
that's the belt.
That's the belt.
It looks slightly different. I thought it looked slightly
a little
different.
sleeker.
Yeah.
It looks, but yeah, it still looks good. It looks better than the Universal title, at least.
Yeah, so. Well, no, the big red strap.
Yeah.
You like this match, obviously?
Yeah, this is my match of the weekend.
Yeah.
I love this match. Yeah. It was, I think, mostly for the moments at the end, you know. It was a super solid match, and then like the fact that it's like, and my roommate's like, "Oh, great, he's gonna kick out," and then 1, 2, 3, and it's like he didn't kick out.
Yeah,
it's like
it was kind of it wasn't as abrupt as the finale, but it was kind of a boom finish.
Yeah,
you know, but it was the right finish because Brian's shoulders were on the mat.
Yep.
Then the 7th match of the night was Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio, and man, you put them in a tough spot coming after that.
Yep.
So what do? You have Samoa Joe choke out Rey Mysterio in 55 seconds. Perfect. No, literally perfect. You can't do any better than that. It literally, the crowd didn't have to get in anything. There was no response that they had to have. They could have been shocked, and they could have still been happy because Samoa Joe looks like a beast.
Yep.
Chokes out Rey. Boom, done.
Yeah, it's like, and I know apparently part of this came because of Rey's kind of still lingering ankle injury, but what worked. It worked perfectly because like you didn't need a long match, and now you have what they set up on Smackdown makes so much more sense because now you have this beast who destroyed Rey Mysterio in less than a minute, as he said, and now he's going against Braun Strowman.
Right. We'll get
like,
there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be. I think that'd be a really good rivalry going forward. But then we go to Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. You're right. This honestly, you were so right in that they should have switched Corbin and McIntyre's spot in this, because it really this match was fine. This was a fine match.
Yeah,
both superstars look good. You know. Obviously, Roman Reigns wins. Oh, we both picked Kofi. Or no, you picked Kofi. I picked Daniel Bryan. So you actually tied me up right there because we both picked Samoa Joe. So we got that.
It's fine. I have a feeling I'm really behind. So
no. At this point, I think we're tied.
We're pretty much
okay. Yeah, because I had the Iconics and you had Kofi. So at this point, at this point, we're tied.
At this point,
yep.
Okay.
So then Roman wins. We both get a point there. That was, like I said, fine match. Hard spot in the card and maybe could have went a little bit shorter. And I think if Corbin were there, they could have had it been shorter because you have two short matches, like, you know, under 10 minutes.
Yep.
It's because it went probably 15 and it could have easily went 10.
Yeah.
And still had the same effect. Then we go Triple H Batista. Okay. The entrance alone took a half hour.
Yes.
Okay. So this match should have taken no more than 10 minutes because I think it would have been more effective how violent it was if it was shorter.
Yeah, because Triple H finally saw Mad Max and and it's like, oh, that was really cool. I want to do that.
Dad Max?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you know that movie's like 3 years old, right? Okay. But
it was a fine entrance, I guess. I liked the motorcade pulling up and Batista getting out. That was cool. They both had fine entrances. Him ripping the nose ring out part was cool.
That was cool.
The table spot where it didn't break, and then they actually went through one. And then the Superman sledgehammer shot.
Yeah.
That was awesome. The finisher. Ric Flair shows up, gives Hunter a sledgehammer, the second sledgehammer of the night. He smokes Batista with it. He picks up the victory in what seemed like at least an hour. It was probably only like 30 minutes, but it should have went less. But that's what they do. These old guys get on there and they just take up as much time as they want because they can.
Yeah. Well, and that was the thing of like making it very obvious that it's like, oh, Triple H's career is on the line. It's like you're not gonna have Triple H like stop wrestling.
They need him for Saudi shows.
Yeah, they need him for random shows. Like he's basically the in case of emergency break glass. Yep. Oh, here comes Triple H. We can use him to draw a rating.
Someone's get hurt, or like they put he's at a weird spot though because he's in NXT. He's like this corporate like nice guy, God, and then and it's such a weird dichotomy between those two characters. But then we got Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin, the saddest match of the night, and the crowd was at its most apathetic here. They didn't boo. They didn't cheer. It was just sad. Kurt lost. It was short. Corbin won. We both pick up a point. I'm not happy about it, but it happened. I don't know. I got nothing else for this one.
Yeah, it was okay. Like, it didn't overstay its welcome, but yeah, crowd was super apathetic to it.
They could have been shorter. It could have. I mean, they could have. And that one also. I don't know. And it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and it doesn't really help Corbin the way I think they were thinking it was going to help. Well, maybe it did, because Raw. I'll get to that when we get to Raw. But it might have helped him more than I thought that night. But in the moment, it was a wet fart in an elevator. Bobby Lashley, Finn Balor come next for the IC title. I was terrified this match was going to get cut. Actually, I was hoping this match was going to get cut because it was like 11 o'clock at this point.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's just be done with this. And it didn't, but the Demon came out. It was a good Demon, not the best Demon that he's ever had, but a good Demon.
I like the gargoyle, Gothic statue Batman-esque start, but then the problem was he then had to go down and wait for that pillar to lower to be able to do the rest of it, so he missed the first big note of his entrance.
Yeah, and then Bobby Lashley had those cool contacts.
Which they didn't even get too much time on, because I actually set my stopwatch on my phone, and the entrance was 3 minutes and 56 seconds. The match itself was 4 minutes and 6 seconds.
Oh, really?
So yeah, they were almost even. That was just the Balor entrance too. I didn't even count the Lashley entrance.
This is the match that suffered most from going over, because you could tell Balor was flying to try to get through it. He was moving faster than I like to see him move, because he wasn't as smooth as he normally is.
Yeah, I can see that.
He wasn't as smooth as we've seen him in the past. But he picks up the win with the coup de grace, gets his IC title back. I'm fine with that. And then we're gonna get to
then the next match was the main event, triple threat. Hey, puppy.
The women's triple threat. Sorry, I had to let one of my dogs in, plus the screen shut off, so I just had to make sure that the audio didn't cut out.
The way too long Charlotte Flair entrance.
She flew in on a helicopter,
which was cool, and I think they did mention it on commentary, but I picked up on it right away. Rick did a helicopter entrance for one of the Great American Bash tours, but he actually got to, because they didn't sell out the field as much back then, so he actually got to land on the field, because it was empty. So who cares? And obviously they couldn't do that.
Yeah, she had to land outside, then come in. So then Joan Jett hits the.
Yeah, Joan Jett was super cool. Ronda looking the happiest she's ever been since she signed her WWE contract,
because she knows she doesn't have to come back tomorrow. Sorry. And then Becky comes out with the most normal entrance of anybody.
But I mean, that's all she needed. All Becky needed was the crowd to be behind her, and the crowd was behind her.
That's the thing, though. You've never seen Stone Cold do a crazy entrance. It was always glass break, walk out like a badass.
Yep, exactly.
And that's I think that's kind of the route she wanted to go.
Yep.
Whereas just hit my music, and I'm just gonna walk out like I walk out. She had the cool hair, and she had a more jazzed up ring attire and stuff like that. But it wasn't she, and that's I think that's the cool part about it, that they don't need to do that with her. That she just. And then
I think on Raw she says she's just the chick in the leather jacket who's coming out here to beat you.
Right. Yeah, and she was. So that worked perfectly for her character. This was a good match. Again, I wouldn't say a great match. I wouldn't say, this isn't WrestleMania 30 moment for me at the end. Becky wins. No. And it felt good, but it felt abrupt, and Ronda's shoulders did not look. Yeah,
which apparently the referee of that match got fined by Vince McMahon. It was a little fine, but he was just you shouldn't have counted that.
Right.
Like,
make them redo it.
Make them redo it. It's like, we get it, but like they needed to not, like, it takes more out of the fact that it's like, oh, yep, these were obviously, her shoulder was up and that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, that was weird too. And then on Raw, they kind of covered it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Becky slightly mentioned it when she challenged her for a rematch. So whenever you want to quit sulking, come back. You can come back and face me. And that kind of leaves the door open that it wasn't a clean, like a fully clean finish. But I don't think it should diminish the, I don't think it should diminish the win. That abrupt ending, because it was a good match. It again felt that they were moving really fast for time.
Yep.
And some of the sloppiness that happened in the IC title match and this one were due, I think, to rushing, because they knew how late it was, and wanting to get to that finale moment. Overall, WrestleMania was good. I would give it a solid B+ overall for, like, if I'm grading it.
It's a solid B+ player.
Yeah, it was a solid B+ player. It wasn't quite an E. It wasn't. It just struggled because of time.
Yeah.
The moments were great. Right on the edge of that A- for me.
Yeah.
Best Mania in the last couple years. Not as good a Mania as like a 30 or 31. 30 is the best Mania in the last decade, or in the last couple of decades, probably. 31's high up there just because the Rollins end with the cash in, the ladder match in the beginning. The thing that holds 31 back for me is that Triple H Sting match, because Sting should have won that match. Now I know he was expected to have more matches in the WWE, and that wasn't supposed to be it for him. But they really missed an opportunity there. This one booked well, just too long. Yeah. All the right people won, though. The booking was almost spot on. Yeah. I don't know that there are any finishes I would say I would have changed. Maybe the Miz, Shane O'Mac, but it depends on where they go with that. The angle stuff, obviously, but top to bottom, it was good.
Yeah, like it was a lot of stuff like we didn't predict, but it was like all the things made sense, at least, which is nice and kind of rare for WWE.
Well, and we end Mania with, I got 10, you got 9. I picked up a point on, who was it? There was something later in the card. Triple H we both got. Finn we both got. Corbin we both got. I can't remember where I picked up the extra point. But yeah, so 10-9. We both did pretty well in the WWE prediction category. It was the Ring of Honor G1 card that was pretty tough to predict. So overall for the weekend, 19 for your boy, 16.5 from a man over here. So respectable. Out of 27, that's not bad.
Out of 27.
Out of 27 matches we predicted, that's not a bad thing. All right, that was the weekend. Let's get into kind of the post-mortem. That sounds odd. Whatever, the after stuff.
Yeah, after Mania.
After Mania. Raw last night. 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. Yeah,
holy
we're
buckets.
Recording Wednesday morning.
Yeah, this is Wednesday. Yeah, holy buckets. So Raw 2 nights ago. And we're not going to go through everything that happened on Raw. What's some of the weird stuff that I liked? So Bray Wyatt's definitely coming back. That puppet, I hope he comes back as a creepy ventriloquist with the puppet. So instead of having the Wyatt family, the bird head is his puppet.
Okay.
And he talks to it and stuff.
Yeah, because it's a buzzard.
Yeah, with a
Hawaii. It looks like it was like the scarf kind of look was last night or was Monday. It basically looked like it was a Hawaiian shirt on Smackdown. So
Bray Wyatt's going to be a creepy ventriloquist with a buzzard puppet. Calling it right now. Lars Sullivan debuted on Raw.
Took out Kurt Angle.
Yep.
The return of Sami Zayn twice.
Who said "see you in hell"?
Yeah. It was still like, sometimes with WWE, I very much wonder what they're thinking, because this has been twice actually they've done something like this, and the first time was much worse because they showed Eric Bischoff in a backstage segment before Vince announced him as the new general manager for Raw, and then same thing last night or on Monday night. They showed Sami Zayn in the back coming out, and then they cut to his then went to commercial, and then he has his entrance. Like,
why. It kind of does take away that moment, that moment.
Because you could hear the crowd pop, but they also popped like, oh, he's backstage, cool. Not, oh, look, Sami Zayn's coming out for a match. Awesome. And I love Sami Zayn, so it's great.
I like to see him heel.
Yeah, he's still heel. Like so it was him versus Finn Balor. It was weird because there were just a couple matches on Raw that just seemed too long.
I thought that was the best match of Raw.
That was, but it's like, ideally for me, like the Mania after, everything except for like maybe one or two matches, and it should be like one match in the middle and then the main event, are the only things that should go beyond one segment. Everything else should be fast and like, oh, look, this person's here. This person's here. Oh, cool.
I think now they're saving that for the Superstar Shakeup. I think now that's saved for the Superstar Shakeup. So they should really move the two together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make it like that. But I like that, like Gable and Aleister Black and Ricochet took on Gable and Rude. Yeah. And it looks like Rude's turning.
Yep, Rude's turning. Gable a little more aggressively heel, which is nice.
Although I'd like to see them split and then him go heel and Gable go face, and then have a program together.
They always tease with the Superstar Shakeup. It's like, oh, we're gonna break up tag teams. That is the one tag team that I'm okay with that, because I think
Nakamura, Rusev, I'd be cool with that. Yeah. There's a couple,
but yeah, it's like I think both of them are better separately.
Right, that makes sense.
As they are together. So
yeah,
but yeah, that was cool. Well, Lacey Evans is now gonna.
She finally did something.
Yeah, she did something.
She didn't just walk out and walk back.
She punched Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch didn't go down.
She punched the man.
Yeah.
So that's a good first feud for her. That's what I was saying. Yeah. I like that as like a buffer feud. And it's going to help Lacey Evans build her character, and Becky can beat her, and no one's going to care and be upset about it. So it gets her a couple title defenses under her belt before we go on to bigger and better things. So I'm cool with that. Her promo was fine before Lacey Evans attacked. Lars Sullivan finally coming out was cool. Seeing him beat up Corbin and Angle. The Revival lost again to Hagens and Ryder on. I thought they were going to get them back. I think everyone did, and I think that's kind of why they lost. So they have to be doing something, right? They got a plan, right? Probably not, but I hope.
No.
The tag division's sad, but it's there. What else happened on Raw? Oh, yeah, so they promised for 2.5 hours that there was going to be a winner-take-all champion versus champion match between Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins, and it turned out to be a tag team match between The Bar and Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston. So
yeah, to which
that turned out well for them.
I still don't understand the decision of The Bar being the tag team. Like, you could have picked so many other people, like Undisputed Era, Call Up, or something, but it was what it was.
Well, then that's when the Beach Balls came out. We Want Refunds came out. This Is BS chant came out. AEW chant came out. Vince could not have been happy when that happened. But he had to know they were going to react to it.
Well, poorly. I mean, it wasn't as bad as on SmackDown, another certain chant that he hates, of that CM Punk chant during
Shane O'Mac. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. Oh, and then what else was I going to say that happened on Raw? There was one other part I was going to mention. Alexa Bliss came back to in-ring.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss back in Bailey.
That was nice to see. There was nothing like big. There's nothing big though. There was nothing. Yeah, there's nothing big.
It feels like they, and more so on SmackDown, it feels like they spread out like the After Mania kind of shock stuff for, spreading that out half this week and like half the Superstar Shakeup next week.
Oh, Dean Ambrose had his last match on Raw, which wasn't really a match. Him and Bobby Lashley got into it. Bobby Lashley said, "I'll keep your wife safe," or "I'll take care of your wife when you're gone."
Yeah.
After Raw was cool because Seth came down, and then Roman came out and Dean came out, and they had a send off. It was like a 9-minute segment.
Okay, I hadn't watched that yet.
Okay, it was pretty good. Yeah. They did the Shield thing. Roman was wearing sweatpants and stuff, and Dean was like showered and dressed to leave. And I don't know. Part of me thinks he's gone, but Roman's face in that last segment, part of me saying he's not. He might leave for a while.
Okay.
Like, he might take 6 months off. He might even be gone for a year.
Yeah.
But he ain't going to AEW.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's going to AEW. Like,
I think he's either going to take a break or he's just literally going to be done. But I don't think, although I would love to see him versus Kenny Omega. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I would.
Like, I don't see him at Double or Nothing.
No way.
But the, slightly hyped, possibly for September, All In 2, that
more of a chance.
He's
He's going to take some time off, I think.
It's like he wants time off.
He mentioned in that segment after I was off that he's just beaten and like riding the roads, and he thanked everybody, and it was a nice moment. But yeah, Raw after Mania they killed themselves really, because it was Undertaker.
Oh yeah,
Undertaker came out, beat Elias. Oh, and we forgot Dr. Thugonomics coming out on Mania.
Oh yeah,
and smoking Elias there. There's just so much to get to. But Elias got beat up by two of the biggest names ever in John Cena and Undertaker, so that's not too bad for Elias. Who knew Elias could play the piano and the drums? Yeah. Who knew there was 3 Eliases? We learned a lot this weekend about Elias. But yeah, that man came out, but he called, that's calling your shot. The next man who comes out here is going to be a dead man. And I was like, here we go. Yeah. Ding. And I'm like, it was cool. It was fine. Yeah. You got to see, everyone got to see Taker, so they can't complain, because it was the first Mania since 2000 that Taker wasn't in.
Yeah.
So
it was the first Mania. And honestly, I think, I want to think back on maybe the Mania, like right after the Shawn Michaels match, was actually the first like Raw after Mania he's been part of since then.
Oh, really?
Because he always does his Mania match and then leaves.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he's always gone after that. Yeah.
Never really. Yeah, I want to say it's the Shawn Michaels, like the rematch, like after 25.
Yeah.
So yeah, it might have been 10 years since he's been at a Raw after Mania.
That's cool. That's a cool moment for them. And then we move on to SmackDown.
Yep, SmackDown.
It was the night of tag team matches.
Yes.
We had 6-man tags to be exact, because we had Nakamura, Rusev, Andrade versus Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Ali. Which was a great match. They had a 3-man sit down in the middle of the ring. That was super cool.
That was the spot I was talking about.
Yep.
Like, it was super fun.
Ricochet again looked like a star. And like we said, Ricochet and Aleister Black wrestled on every show. Yeah. The only night they didn't wrestle was Saturday night. They wrestled Friday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 4 of 5 nights
and
they
I'm
wrestled.
Sure they were in the crowd at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they were on camera, because like I said, that's the one show I haven't watched yet.
I ain't got that much time.
I was watching Spring Break.
Yeah, well, you watch wrestling with other wrestling. I was just trying to watch like Parks and Rec, or like something just to decompress, or Ben 10 from 2017, because Little Man's super into that. Yeah. But yeah, so SmackDown, Lars comes out. Wait, we won't go that far yet. Sorry. But yeah. What else happened on SmackDown? Oh, the Iconics came out and cut some awesome promos with those jobbers. Yeah. Who they were like, what were they, the Brooklyn Bells?
Yeah, the Brooklyn Bells.
45-0.
To which Corey Graves got their names wrong the entire time and kept going to different stuff. And it's like, okay, that was kind of funny. But that was the segment, especially when they showed Paige backstage. Like, that was the segment where I'm like, wow, this is just like they're spreading this out way too much. And honestly, any other week of the year, I would have been perfectly fine with this. But it's like, it's the Mania after, or it's the shows after Mania. Like, it should be something big. Because the Iconics, take on these 2 local jobbers, beat them real quick, and then cut back to Paige, and Paige is like, next week I've got this tag team.
Right, instead of just debuting them.
Yeah, whereas, I think
I get you.
Any other week, it would have been those like any other after Mania, it would have been those jobbers are in the ring, and Paige comes out, it's like, no, you're not facing them, you're facing these 2, and then out come whoever her tag team is. Yeah. I think we're both in agreement, so we think it's going to be Sky Pirates, which would be awesome.
Oh, God, I hope so. That would be amazing.
Because it would be best of both worlds, because like Sky Pirates are fantastic, but English is their second language.
I would like to see Paige become like the female Paul Heyman.
Yep.
That would be great. Like, see her become a manager, like a full. There's just so much they could do with that. One thing we forgot to mention. So at the end of that 6-man tag in the beginning, Randy comes out, RKO's Ali.
RKO's Ali.
And then Rusev's beating up Ali in the ring. Kevin Owens comes out, stuns Rusev. So yeah, they're just setting things up. And then the bar came out during Kofi's opening because the New Day opened with the celebration. The bar comes out. They got mad heat. Drew McIntyre showed up, which was cool. They had they set a 6-man tag for the end of the night. And then they announced that they're gonna have Usos versus Hardys for the championship. Which actually, I don't know why they didn't do that at Mania, because they discussed that beforehand. So I bet they saved it for this, which we'll get to later. And then what else?
We had, who did Joe come out and beat up? R-Truth.
R-Truth and Carmelo were just talking about how much they like each other and how great each other are. And then Joe's music hit and he chokes out R-Truth.
Carmelo goes running.
Braun. And then Braun showed up.
Yeah, because like Joe basically says like nobody can beat me, kind of things. Like you've got to step up and man up, and then it's like the biggest dude comes out. The monster amongst men is the one who answers that challenge, and they actually had decent matches against each other when they were on Raw. So. Like, this could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that could be, especially depending on how the shakeup shakes down, you know. I'm curious to see where that goes. I would like to see some more of that. Then we get that tag match between the Hardys and another, like we talked about earlier, the Bray Puppet, because he's going to be a ventriloquist, which is going to be awesome. God, it's going to be so good. Then we get the tag match with the Hardys and the Usos. Good match. Best match of the night?
Yeah. No.
Oh, was it the 6-man with the Ricochet?
I mean, of the night
of that night. Yes, of that night. Yes, of SmackDown.
Yes.
I'm just talking of SmackDown. It was probably that because the Hardys are the new tag team champions. So now they've held every tag belt that's ever been invented in the WWE. Apparently,
probably in the world. I know they haven't won the IWGP titles. But
really?
No, that's like literally one of the only ones, one of the major ones they haven't held.
Another 8-time WWE champion, tag team champions now. So there was that. Then Lars Sullivan comes out and beats both of them up. So Lars just beat up 3 old men over the past 2 nights. Feel good about yourself, Lars Sullivan.
Yeah, great job. The SmackDown tag division is solid. Our champions just got beat up by one guy.
How happy would you be, though? Because the SmackDown tag division is a lot better than the Raw tag division. So how excited would you be if you're a tag team maybe going over to SmackDown? Or how sad would you be if you're a SmackDown team going over to Raw? Like the Usos dropping the belts terrifies me that they're going to Raw.
The only good thing about that would be then we get Usos versus Revival.
Ooh. Yeah.
Which is the saving grace of the Raw tag division.
Right after we get past Usos versus Hawkins and Ryder.
Yeah. But I think, and it would be terrible for his personal life, but I honestly see Ricochet and Black staying on Raw.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think they split them up, though? You think they put one on one and one on the other? I could see that happening. They do like them as a tag team, though.
They like them as a tag team, but it's like you can utilize them on Raw, I think, a little better because you can have them both have singles matches. Okay.
I still think the dissolve of the brand split is imminent, especially when they start talking about title for title belt on Monday night.
Yeah.
And just it just makes too much sense. Let's go down from 10 belts to 7 belts.
Yeah.
You'll have enough belts to fill both shows. The right people get, and well, that's not true, but I think it'll just strengthen things. I think we're heading towards that still, like I said in the predictions. But
one of the things in the Becky Lynch promo from SmackDown, she did point out the fact like she kind of is keeping them separate.
Yeah.
She is like, I am the Raw and the SmackDown champion, women's champion, so I am going to be pulling double duty like from here out.
So she could have 2 matches on a pay-per-view then.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see how they play with that going forward. I don't know how much I like that.
Yeah.
Because it could list, whatever. It's fine. Yeah. So match of the weekend for you was...
match of the weekend, moment of the weekend for sure is Bryan versus Kofi.
That was that.
At least I'm pretty sure. Let me look at my list.
I'm gonna have to go NXT. NXT, the main event, the 2 out of 3 falls, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano. That was my match of the weekend. I honestly would probably put Kofi Bryan second, but just barely to Naito Kota Ibushi. That would be my number 3. And then, those are my top 3 matches of the whole weekend. One from each show. And then Raw and SmackDown were underwhelming, but they were fine.
I've actually, so just to give your listeners a little tease, because this is actually what my list is so far this year, and it shows how much I love tag matches. I forgot. I'll go actually my top 10. So number 10 was Kota Ibushi versus Will Ospreay from Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
8 was Gargano and Ciampa, or Gargano and Adam Cole from TakeOver Brooklyn.
Okay.
7, Naito and Kota Ibushi. 6, Aleister Black and Ricochet versus War Raiders from NXT Takeover New York. 5, I really liked the Gargano versus Ricochet match from the Royal Rumble Takeover.
Oh, yeah.
4, Okada versus Jay White from Wrestle Kingdom. Oh, I have this messed up. Why is there no 3? So 2, Zach Gibson and James Drake versus Tyler Bate and Trent Seven from TakeOver Blackpool.
Okay, yeah.
That was the opener of TakeOver Blackpool. Super good. And then Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston from Mania.
Nice. That's a good list.
Yeah.
That's a good list.
Oh, so that technically means number 10 is Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese from
Mania weekend?
From 205 Live. Yeah.
Oh, from 205 Live.
205 Live, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you said that's a better match.
Yeah, it was a better match.
So if you want to watch wrestling from this weekend, it's so much out there. Let us know what your favorite moment of the weekend, your favorite match of the weekend, anything we missed. Like, share, subscribe. I'm Thor Basement Banner. Kyle Olsen, KnockedOut Films. Yep. You can find us all over the place. Check for us. We'll see you on the next one. Deuces.